On January 13, Taiwan is set to elect a new president in a race that could redefine the island's relationship with China. Beijing has on multiple occasions laid claim over the sovereign nation, calling it a breakaway province, a lingering issue that has loomed over the country since its first election in 1996. The current vice president from the governing Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, is on the ballot leading the polls, followed by a former police chief who is running on the main opposition party, Kuomintang's ticket. An ex-city mayor, initially the dark horse candidate, is now trailing behind these two candidates. To tell you more about the people who may decide Taiwan's future, here's Elijah Villanueva with the story.
William Lai Ching-te of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party has been a soft-spoken figure within the local political landscape, but has been a staunch defender of Taiwan's self-governing status. During his tenure as President Tsai's premier from 2017 to 2019, Mr. Lai was viewed as a pragmatic worker for Taiwanese independence. He first served as a lawmaker representing the southern city of Tainan. He was elected the city's mayor in 2010 and held onto the post in 2014 with an unprecedented 73% of the vote. He remains the current frontrunner by a tiny margin, with recent polls showing him leading his closest rival by just 1%. Oil Yue of the Kuomintang was a former police chief who turned to politics in 2010, becoming the mayor of Taipei, Taiwan's most populous city. He was re-elected in a landslide in 2022. Mr. Ho's track record as a competent policeman and a popular mayor made him the KMT's top pick as it seeks to reclaim Taiwan's leadership after 8 years. Mr. Ho had initially struggled to gain traction but has moved up in polls since KMT's attempt to mount a joint ticket with another opposition candidate failed. Mr. Ho opposes Taiwan's independence but has largely avoided voicing his stance on China in this one campaign. This lack of clarity has drawn criticism. He dodged a question on the One China policy, which recognizes only one Chinese government. Last but not least, we have Go Wen-je, the quirky doctor turned politician, who once released a rap video during his Taipei mayorship urging residents to do things right. Brands himself as the best alternative for voters between provoking and deferring to China. Currently, the head of Taiwan People's Party, TPP, Go Wen-je, has proved popular among young voters and at one point even pulled ahead of Mr. Lai. Once a prominent trauma surgeon, Mr. Go gave up his white coat for politics 10 years ago. He shot to political fame after throwing his support behind the Sunflower Movement in 2014. When students led protests against what they saw as China's growing influence over the island. Later that year, he was elected the mayor of Taipei. Despite being a political novice, he scored endorsements from Sunflower Movement, activists, and the DPP. This year's race to replace sitting President Tsai Ing-wen is happening at a time when Taiwan has emerged as a key flashpoint between the US and China. Elijah Villanueva for Mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.